Okay, so picking up where we left off, what did you want? What were you? You had. I know you had a list. So what's your list? What was on your
Stuff I
list?
want.
Or stuff you wanted to talk about with
Oh, gotcha.
McFarlane stuff?
Um, well, I made myself a little, what you call it? Uh, well, I have reasons why I like the McFarlane figures, and then I have figures I'd like to see that have not been made by McFarlane. Um, what else? And then I have my multiverse list so far of stuff that I have not picked up. Um,
Let's do the
but
ones like the reasons why you dig it. So so
oh,
far,
okay. Um,
because I think that it's a no brainer. We're buying most stuff. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah.
Everybody can tell we're invested. So
And you know what sucks is that I'm what you call it? I'm looking to get like maybe another wave this week, but I'm having a really I find it having a hard time figuring out which one to pluck first.
mm-hmm. Cherry pick.
Like I don't know whether I want to get the Gotham Knights wave, which I think I could wait on those because those figures keep dropping in price like crazy.
Yeah, they do.
Um, I might go for the either the Crime Syndicate wave or the um, Atrocitus wave. I think those are one of the two waves I might.
Well, the Crime Syndicate wave is good because it's only three figures right now. So,
Oh, that's right. Though I thought it was a whole. I thought they all came out. I forgot that.
oh, it was like periodically throughout the year.
That's an odd choice, isn't
I
it?
think it's genius because it's only four figures. So there's four quarters in a year, so one drops per quarter. And then the freaking build a figure is a bendable Starro, and it's
Sure.
huge. Like he's pretty damn big. Like I mean,
I
it's.
really want. That's. I think that's what's really selling me is I don't have Starro,
Mm-hmm.
so I really want a Starro badly.
I think the figures themselves look so good, and like the because I was looking at the Superwoman from DC Collectibles, the Forever Evil version is one of
Mm-hmm.
my favorite versions of her. Like I sold my
Sure.
DCUC one immediately. I think Dar bought it, and as soon as I got that one, I was like, "Yep, that's gonna be the one." Then I saw this one, and I was just like, "Shit." I mean, there's aspects that I'm not like 100% like, "Oh my god, this is amazing," but they fit since she's an evil Amazon type.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that figure is dope. I mean, she just like the smirk she has on her face looks like she's up to no good. The the musculature is phenomenal. Like she's just a dope figure.
I think the only thing I'm on the fence about is that Zatanna skirt piece that hangs off the back.
What for her?
Yeah,
I don't think she has a. Does she have a skirt?
yeah, she does. It's covered. It's like very similar to what Zatanna has. She's got that kind of like magician assistant or magician kind of looking skirt piece on the backside. And then she's got the laced up boots.
Yeah, it's not bad. Yeah, I forgot. It's so like it's such a non issue. Like when you see it in person, because she doesn't have a cape, it makes perfect sense. But it doesn't get in the way of anything. Like you can make her do kicks and everything, and she can bend her legs to like in flying poses and stuff. It's not a problem, and she is thick. Jesus Christ, they made her so fucking thick. It's ridiculous.
Um, but yeah, I think those are the two waves that I really am looking forward to the most. Obviously, besides the page puncher waves, but like, um, I think I'm gonna try and pick up the Lex Luthor and Throne also.
Yeah, I was looking at that too. I have the good guy version because Mattel did a good job with that figure. He was a build a figure for their one of the last multiverse waves, but they don't. He did the one I got didn't have the evil, dark side head because that was an optional thing. I forgot who came with it. It was a variant. So like one of the figures in that wave had like a variant figure and it came with the other head and I didn't find the variant. I wasn't looking for it because I'm not a fan of variants. It's one of the few things I hate when it comes to collecting various waves and shit is variants because it just feels like you're just buying the same figure twice. Very rarely do they do something different enough to warrant you having the same figure. You know what I mean? Purchasing the same figure two times.
Yeah.
And that gets on my nerves. I don't like gimmicks, and that's like one of the biggest gimmicks they ever try.
I think some gimmicks are alright for myself personally. Like it depends on the gimmick for figures. Like if it has like I don't know. I guess if it has an action feature that makes sense, I don't mind kind of gimmicks like that.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
kind of old school, what we kind of grew up with.
yeah. That's fine. I just mean like in terms of variants. When they do a
Oh,
variant figure and the variant figure is not different enough, or like it's nothing
sure.
special, it's like you just trick. You tried to trick me into buying the same figure twice. Like fuck you. That's not cool. That's bogus. But
Farlane's all about those chase figures. He loves them.
yeah, and with his, it's just a head. It'll just be like a different head sculpt. That's it.
Yep.
I'm like,
Yeah,
dude,
just like he did with Flashpoint Batman and
yeah.
Red Hood, which he doesn't like re-releasing figures. I've noticed that shit. He does not like doing that.
Well, yeah. Well, he does them in packs because there's all those 5 packs when they re-release. Red Hood, freaking. There's a. Go ahead.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, you're
Oh, no,
good.
I'm babbling.
You're good. That's what we do. Go ahead, man. You're fine.
I really think I'm gonna pull the trigger. That might actually be the next thing I get is that damn 5 pack, Batman family 5 pack.
Really, with the blue and gray Batman?
Yeah, I don't mind it.
Yeah, I'm not a fan. That's not how he appeared in the Three Jokers, so there's no point. And I don't like when they do shit like that. Like it's the Three Jokers wave, so it's supposed to be following how the characters appeared in that comic book storyline, and then you just throw in black and gray Batman. That's an example of the kind of variant I don't like. You know what I mean? Like,
Well, I don't think it bothers me because he's had that look multiple times before. So
no,
I don't know. It doesn't bother me.
he had he's had the blue and gray. That's not the gripe. It's the blue and gray with that design, with
Yeah, it
the
doesn't bother
Keaton
me.
design. That to me, that's stupid. It's like you're for no reason you just well, little reason I should say. I get it. People are gonna be like, I'm gonna customize him blue and gray anyway. But it's like you have all the other. I don't know. That's that fashionista shit that I don't like. There's so many versions of Batman in blue and gray that don't pertain to that story. So, you know what I mean? Those are the ones that you can, if you want that, that's where you go for that. But then again, it's another Batman. And the more Batman that sell, the more other figures McFarlane's going to continue to make. So,
Well, and no, I don't think anybody's really buying it for the Batman. They're buying it for the rest of the Bat family. They're not. No, I don't think anybody. I've heard anybody say, "Oh man, I just want the Batman."
oh no, I get that. I'm just saying it's included. You know what I mean? I'm just
Yeah.
commenting on him being included and looking, being presented in a way that's not, uh, what's the word? It's not accurate to what he was. Um, but no, whatever. It's one of
Yeah.
those things. It's not. I mean, it's a 5 pack, so it's a tall order for a lot of us. But at the same time, if you missed out on a bunch of those figures and you really wanted them, now you got a second chance to get them. Um,
Yeah. Well, I need that Red Hood. I don't have that. Oh no, wait, I do have that Red Hood.
I was gonna say, I thought
Shit,
you
I keep
did.
thinking it's the fucking New 52 looking S1 or the
No,
whatever the fuck we call.
the new 52 one.
That's
Yeah,
what he should put in there. I get it. It's supposed to be what it's supposed to be, but
that's what I'm saying.
um,
People gotta be more. If you're gonna be, because like if you're gonna get down to, I want the look from such and such comic. You know what I mean? They need to produce the look from such and such comic and be accurate to it. I hate when that kills me when they're like, hey, we're just gonna change it up for the sake of, changing it up so we can say there's a variant, and you can buy this variant so that we can make more money. I mean, I guess in terms of McFarlane shit, I don't care because means better shit will be on the way for us. More shit will be on the way for us. So it's not all bad, but it's a gripe.
That's what it wasn't the Red Hood I wanted. It was Nightwing. I don't have that Nightwing.
Yeah,
I
but
mean,
that
that's for like $100. I'm not paying $100 for a fucking McFarlane figure.
yeah. That head sculpt though, Jesus. As long as you have another head though, you might be able to salvage it.
Doesn't really bother me. Dick's allowed to be angry too. We all get angry.
Okay. Okay. I know that. Come on, Jesus Christ. Jesus. But yeah, that one.
I'll go a little bit.
What else? What else is because I think somehow you started, but we started talking about that. What is the thing that's selling you so much on these figures? That's making you love them?
Well, I want to say it's multiple reasons, not just one. It would be, and we talked about this before. His toys just make me feel like I'm a kid, and I know that sounds like it's nostalgia for you.
Uh-huh.
It's not. It's just the feeling of, I don't know, because I remember getting my first McFarlane figure. I don't want to bore everybody to death with a history lesson here, but my first McFarlane figure was the issue #1 Spawn with the traditional looking Spawn figure, and I found it at a Comic-Con with my father and my uncle, and my uncle and father didn't get along all that well. So it was a rarity getting those two together, let alone getting my father to go to a Comic-Con, because he didn't really like those types of things, but he would do them with me. But my uncle was just a huge nerd. Like, he would watch Star Wars, and we'd watch the animated Hobbit movies and stuff like that, and Ninja Turtles. He even watched some wrestling with me and stuff like that. And he's no longer with us anymore, which is awful. And
Yeah, it sucks.
but I always have those memories, and I think that's part of what kind of brings me is that what was it? My dad bought me Spawn, and then my uncle bought me the medieval Spawn.
Such
they
a
were in
good
that same
figure.
Wave.
Such a
And
good fucking figure.
yeah, such two good figures and two different versions, and I was like, wait, medieval Spawn? Why is he medieval? I don't understand. So it made me want to learn more about the character and being introduced. And I remember taking them out of the package because they're in that really cool clamshell, and I was like, oh man, it's such a cool little clamshell and stuff. How you'd cut it open because it was like hermetically sealed.
Yeah.
And just the feeling of the figures, how different they from other figures, and how the different scale that they were in. I really liked the larger scale too, because mostly it was 3 3/4 inch figures up the rear end at that point. And I think even Marvel figures, the Toy Biz ones, were a little bit smaller than those as well. So
They're 5 inches, yeah.
Feel. What's up?
They were 5 inches.
Yeah, exactly. And it just gave me a different feel, and I don't know, even it's something weird. It's the smell of the figures even smells the same. I don't know. You know how some plastics smell different?
Yeah, it's true.
From different companies,
Yeah.
When you open up the figure, McFarlane has that texture and that feel. It's it feels more rough,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't know. It just reminds me. It gives me good memories as far as being a kid again.
Yeah.
But another one would be, and this is a huge thing, availability. You can go anywhere and you can find McFarlane figures anywhere. That is a huge coup for any collector.
I
If
agree.
you can actually find the product, not only just online, that's easy to do, but actually go to a store and do that. Because regardless of whatever society we live in today, there's still that little thing in the back of your head that makes you want to go out and find something.
Mm-hmm.
We're hunters. We want to hunt. We want to find something. we want to, you know, accomplish something, bring something home that we enjoy or whatever. You know, it's like a
You're getting all
something to
scientific.
do. I know. I'm
Don't you don't
trying
have
to
to get scientific.
bring it
Just
down to the
no,
romantic way
because
of thinking. But
some folks will be like, not me. That's not how I feel. I like it sent to my door. I don't want to get up and deal with anyone. So I don't know. But I
yeah,
feel you. I still love that shit. I still love getting up and going out to getting something. Like, you know, checking the different versions of the figure, like looking at all the figures on the peg to make sure the eyes are in the same place and the paint is good and all that shit.
sure.
Yeah. It's a
Oh, and
lost.
we can actually do that with McFarlane figures. What other company you can't do that with? I
Yeah.
wonder who.
It's a lost aspect of collecting, man. Like you just don't really get to do that like we used to. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, I'm with you. I am 1,000% with you. It is nice to
Um.
do that.
Yeah. Yeah. It's still fun to go out, especially if you have friends. Like I don't have many friends that collect it locally here. So, but it's also fun to just do that with friends. Like I
Hmm.
would love to be able to do that with friends all the time. That's like an event. You know, it's
Yeah.
like a fun little thing you can do.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Um, the next is the sculpt and the paint. I mean, how can you beat it?
Yeah.
I just don't understand. Like even I was saying, like the feel of the figures. Like Grifter is such a simple design. He's
Yeah.
so simplistic, but when you feel like his tack vest underneath, it's such a different texture from like the the coat, which is a smoother texture, and then you've got his pants that are like you feel all the wrinkles, and it's just so cool and unique. And then how he details the boots and stuff like that, and just the vibrantness of some of his colors. He puts dull colors with vibrant color. It's just sound. I should just say
Yeah.
it's just a sound way of doing toys.
Yeah.
It makes it feel like you're buying a NECA figure, and we
Yeah.
all know how the sculpt and the detail on NECA figures are fantastic. It's just a cheaper figure, and
Yeah.
I would say it's really close and on par with NECA.
I agree. I
So,
agree.
but those are I think the major reasons why is because of that.
I'm with you, sir. I'm with you. I can't really. There's not too much else to add. I'm with you. It's just real simple and straightforward. The figures are fun to play. They're fun to play with and easy to like manipulate and like move around. And like, it's weird because like I've been playing with my DCUCs. With me and Little Strydent, we've been playing with the DCUCs, mostly the Justice Society characters. After we saw Black Adam, and there's like limitations to the articulation on those guys, um, because they're all either bends and swivels. There's no ball joints on them except for maybe at the neck. Um, and it's weird because it doesn't, like, until you move from that to the McFarlane style figures or to something else with more ball joints like a Revoltech or something, it won't really matter. As soon as you do it, it's like, oh shit, I can do this, I can do this, I can do this. And then it makes the other one kind of feel like, oh, this was limited. You can tell that, like, there's an evolution that took place, as far as engineering goes, and it feels good when you see that. So when you get the same character, but you get the upgraded version with more, it's a bigger figure. He's got a better sculpt. He's got more, detail all over the place, and then more articulation overall. And
Yeah,
then different articulation in some places. It just feels like a new experience, which is fun. And like I said, because they're built for you to play with, it's just so easy to get lost and just be a big kid. I mean,
yeah.
I just yeah, I'm with you. It's so easy to just play with them and just vibe out and just act like a little kid in your man cave or whatever. Fly your Superman around your house. I was doing
And
that shit.
that's the other thing. McFarlane knows how to make an affordable figure that would like. I mean, look at his mega figures. His mega figures are larger than any of the Build-A figures that Hasbro's made.
Yep.
They're all bigger.
Mm-hmm.
and some like Overkill is a perfect example. He's more hollow in the chest, and he feels like a '90s, almost like a '90s figure,
Yeah.
where he's a little bit more hollow. So he cut costs where it doesn't really matter where it
Yeah.
cut costs, and the figure is cheaper than any build a figure because you have to spend over almost $200 now for a damn build a figure wave. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
So and they're holding you to that because they're putting a prison with that build a figure because you have to get the build a figure piece.
Yeah.
But with a mega figure, it's just the figure itself, and we've been asking for that for years.
I know. I was gonna say I've mentioned that on so many videos when we started talking about what they should do as a solution to, shitty figures coming with that last piece. And that's
Yeah.
that's the other thing too, is a lot of times if he does release a wave that has a build a figure, it's only 4 figures or 5 figures if that. Most of the time I want to say his waves are 4 figures deep. That's it.
Yeah,
And so
that's all it needs to be.
it's easy to get the figure and build all the parts. And if you don't like it, you could wait a little bit and he'll release all the figures together with the build a figure as a complete figure. So it's not much to complain about. So yeah, he gives you options, which is nice.
Yeah. And like I said, the sculpt, the detail, and even just the size, it beats any. I think it beats any Hasbro release build a figure.
Yeah.
I really do. I mean, I'm looking at Overkill, I'm looking at Cygor and themselves, and like, it's not even comparable. Like, what they can do is right on par, and the sculpt and the detail just blows any Marvel Legend build a figure out of the water. I don't care. Like,
Yeah.
it really. Because I'm looking at my shelf of build a figures over here, and I just don't see anything that I could like. The build a figure Juggernaut smaller, the Kingpin build a figure smaller, the what you call it, Strong Guy smaller,
Yeah.
Sasquatch smaller. Like they're all small. Molten Man smaller. Like they're
Okoye smaller.
small as fuck. Hit Monkey small.
Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of weird.
Rocket Raccoon teeny.
I know, right? And then it's funny because then you move over to the DCUC side, and they at least a couple of them are huge, like Anti-Monitor, what's his face, Trigon, and Necron. They're all pretty tall figures, so you can kind of see what kind of legacy he was trying to follow. He's trying to keep that shit going. I think he's doing a phenomenal job.
He is.
Who is your favorite so far? Like, which one do you play with the most? The most.
This is really tough.
I play with the most. Which one do you play with the most? No, seriously. Like, what was the last figure? What was the last figure you picked up and played with?
The last one, or my
Yeah,
favorite?
the last one or the one that you keep on coming back to. For me, it's simple. For me, it's the she spawn. For some odd reason, the fact that she can hold her guns right
is so good. I just got her.
Yeah, she's a fucking dope figure. I play with that figure all the time. I had her at my desk for a long time. So I'd be working and having her shoot at folks and stuff. Like, yeah, she's dope. She's dope. And probably the second best or second favorite would be my that Superman, the Page Puncher Superman. I play with that one all the time. Yeah. I think the fact that he has the open flying hands. I don't have any Superman figures that have that. I mean, they have open hands, even the Mezcos do, but they don't have those open hands. So, like, putting him in the pose, it's kind of crazy to finally see it and just be able to do that.
Oh, this is tough.
No.
I want to say I recently have really liked the Haunt figure. I guess got him. He's really fun I just like everything he comes with. The little, like, base. Like, the little base and everything he comes with reminds me of, like...
The old days.
The old statues.
Yeah. But which one are you...
Of articulation.
Which one are you playing with? Like, which figure are you playing with the most? Like...
I want to say it's probably Gunslinger Spawn.
Yeah.
Is the most I play with.
He's a good one.
He is so good. He's so fun. Um,
Wow, that hasn't changed. Because you remember when we talked about this a couple months back? It was like earlier in the
yeah,
year. We were both talking about how much fun we had with fucking Gunslinger Spawn. Like
yeah.
that one's a good
I
one.
almost don't even buy. I almost want to get the two pack with the
Me
horse,
too.
and I don't even mind having two of him because he's such a good goddamn figure.
Yeah.
He's one that I want to say is probably if I did because I don't do top tens anymore. If I did a top ten, he'd probably be number one
Top 10
for the
of
year.
for the year or
For the year, yeah, he'd probably be number
did he
one.
come
I
out
just
this year or was he last year?
I think he was this year, and that's another reason why I don't do top tens because I
It's
can't
so
remember.
many.
It's so many
Jesus.
toys. I don't know how people keep track.
Oh my god, there's so many. I mean like I've made the joke about people having a credit card specifically to keep up with pre-orders and shit. And it's like I mean, that's kind of what it's become and I don't like everything, but there's just so many releases for the lines I do like. Like I strictly right now I've been focusing mostly on McFarlane, but I collect Transformers, I collect Masterverse figures, and I collect the McFarlane shit, and then I'm trying to get into Mythic Legions and get a couple of those, and then I'm also trying to get into Valaverse, and
Yeah.
like all of those figures alone, each figure is like $20 to $30 a pop, or 35 a pop. So like, you know what I mean? You need some way to be keeping track of all this shit
Yeah.
and to keep, your payments, keep track of your payments, and just keep. Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot. I'm
It's a
just like,
lot, and I
man.
think that's the major reason why I don't do top tens because I can't keep track of them. Like I enjoy doing top tens. Don't get me wrong,
Yeah.
but it's just maybe I should do the tier. I should do the tier thing. Where everybody tiers a figure.
Nah, don't do it. Don't do it.
No,
That's
those are fun.
my advice to people when it comes to the quote unquote trends and like the follow the leader kind of nonsense that is YouTube. Everybody goes right, you go left, unless there's a reason. Like if Godzilla's stomping out everything to the left and everybody's running to the right, you probably should
Is
run to the right. You know what I mean? Like,
is everybody doing tier stuff now?
oh, they do tiers for every goddamn thing, man. They
Oh
do
man,
tiers for video
I'm not
games.
up with the Joneses, I guess.
I just see them in my feed, and I'm like, yeah, another tier list for movies, for video games, for peripherals on your system, the systems themselves, and then for comic book characters and like fights and blah. I mean, it gets stupid. It'll be like
Uh,
top 10 muscular characters in DC or Marvel. I'm like, they're all fucking muscular. You're really that dumb? So you mean like the biggest characters, the most muscular characters, you know? I don't know. It's strange. Like I just that kind of shit is like, nah, no good. No bueno for me. Um but
but yeah, I think it would be Gunslinger Spawn, um, and followed by.
he had to have been last year because he was on my most unfun for last year.
Let me see. I'll look it up.
Well, no, I
Let's
mean
see. No, I think he.
I already did the video. He was on the video the beginning of this year because he came out end of last year. Remember?
Oh, really?
I always do those in either late December or early January.
Well, it
January,
says
February
May
ish.
of 2022 was a
Which
release.
which one? The one with the
Oh, it's the
horse?
one with the horse, I
Yeah,
think.
yeah. That was the second one. Yeah. The first one,
Oh, here it is.
yeah, the
Here
first
it
one
is.
came out with the what was this? The Violator and the clown with the guns and all that, which I still didn't
It says here
find both
January
of those.
21st, 2022 was the official release date, but what probably happened was he leaked probably in November and December.
Yeah, it's possible. I know he's in my video. I just can't remember when I picked him up.
So I'm counting it this year.
I know, right? You may as well.
I didn't even get it until this year anyway, so I would count that anyway.
Yeah. He's a dope
So
figure
I
either way. He's super fucking dope. Like the design is good and then the fact that the figure itself is fun to play with. That's I mean, that's just a plus. It's a huge plus, you know.
yeah. Well, he's very unique. Like he's super duper tall, like uber duper tall, which is that's how he looks in the comics.
Yeah.
So that it sets him apart. He's just very unique and fun, and there's so much stuff you can do with him. And even like when you first look at him, you think he's gonna be like maybe limited in certain areas. Nope,
Nope. Yeah, he can
dude,
move.
dude can do whatever you want him to do.
It's true.
So he's just yeah, he'd probably be my figure of the year. And it's tough because there's Afarius is up there, the Moose is up there too.
Yeah.
Um, Bardrick is up there. I would almost put Bardrick with the Moose because that's just how I have it
Yeah.
set up. It's just those two just go hand in hand.
Yeah.
Um, so it's tough, and there's a shit ton of NECA figures that I would put on there too that are just top notch stuff.
I haven't
So
been messing with NECA as much except for with Ninja Turtles. That's it.
yeah, I've been playing catch up with some stuff, but I love the Stalker, Ultimate Stalker Predator.
Uh huh.
I got since I got him, I was almost like kind of like meh on him, but when I got him in hand, like he's totally different.
Which one is the
Like
Stalker? He's the one that's glowing. He's the with the glowing parts. He's all big and shit.
no, he's not the glowing one. He's the one of the part of the Lost Clan.
Oh, gotcha,
Um,
gotcha, gotcha. Yeah, we were talking about those.
yeah, his plasma caster is very unique, and it kind of like bends up backwards and then swivels, and it's on the right hand side, which most plasma casters are on the left hand side.
Yeah.
So that's unique on its own. And then he's got like this wrist gauntlet, like fucking dart thrower contraption.
Yeah.
Uh, and then he's got chest armor that is removable. He's got the unmasked head. Like in his, I have his first release because it was the first NECA Predator I ever bought. Was the Stalker Predator one way back,
Oh, okay.
and he's actually a lot different from that original release.
Okay.
So yeah,
Cool,
I would
cool.
say that would be on the list too, probably. Um,
I found when I got Gunslinger Spawn, October 2nd of 2021.
man, you lucky mofo.
Yeah. I'm like, yeah, I know I had to have gotten him before if he showed up on that list. Yeah, I have a picture of him on my desk. I got him in the Mantis, that the Mantis drone thing from mech thing from Halo,
Oh yeah, yeah.
and the Masterverse He-Man all at the same time.
Oh, it doesn't even feel like that long ago,
I know, right?
but it was.
It's a pretty decent amount of time ago.
That's crazy. This
Yeah,
year's almost over.
I know.
Holy shit, I'm getting old. This is how things happen for me, folks.
No, it's same,
It's,
same.
it's it's like I'm rolling downhill slowly, and then everything speeds up quickly.
Then you hit the ground and you're like,
Yeah.
"What just happened?
What the fuck?
Where am I?"
Start realizing things very quickly. Oh God. Um,
Yeah.
I would say the other McFarlane figure that I really can't put down is the 1000 comic Superman. Still, I adore that figure.
Which one?
The 1000 comics Superman, the first Superman that McFarlane released.
Oh, the very, very first one. Gotcha.
Yes, the very first one.
What was that? Action Comics 1000, I think it was called.
Action Comics 1000. That's what it
Yeah.
was. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, that one's he's pretty cool. I just he for me that body just I couldn't get with that body. Him and Batman have that same weird body with the straight cut across the abdomen. And I just was like, nah, I don't know. Something about them always seemed so weird to me. But they pose really well. I've seen some really good pictures. And then he only built up from there to make it better by the time we
Yeah.
got to the Rebirth Superman. So, even still, I used to see them all the time on the shelves, and then all of a sudden they just disappeared. All of them, just bloop, no more. So
Yeah, and then he went for like $100 at one point, and then he went down finally because then I
yeah,
started seeing that they started popping up in stores again,
yeah, exactly.
and I was like, wow, that's weird that he would just pop up back in store like after everybody's like trying to sell them for $100, and then the prices went down. And I think he's around the $50-$60 price point now.
Yeah,
Still, he's
I
kinda
really
hanging
wish
in the
that
ringer.
I really wish they would stop that shit. It's still a $20 figure. I'm like, guys, stop. And then if you're a popular figure like the one with the black suit, it's like stupid expensive. And I'm like, I get it, you like black, but stop it. Stop it.
Which one is that? The one with the beard?
Yeah, the one with the
Okay.
beard is one, and then also the Justice League, the Zack Snyder's the Snyder cut black suit Superman is like
See, I got
expensive.
the
I have the regular
issue with.
one.
I got the yeah. I got the Joss Whedon version.
I got
I'll call it that.
that's fucked up. Nah, just the Man of Steel version. Fuck Joss Whedon when it comes to Justice League. No, the Man of Steel version, the standard red and blue. That's what I have because I was like, I'm not. I'm kind of tired of the Man in Black trope. It's getting old and it's overrated and it doesn't work for everybody. You can't just put that on everybody and be like, now they're badass. Like he did
Well, and that's the thing. Like he wore that suit for a reason. That suit has a purpose.
exactly,
It's not just to look cool and
and in that movie it was, and that's what I
yeah.
didn't like. I was
And
like,
that's why I don't like that shit.
yeah, it's like nah. He can mean business. Him meaning business is a whole different situation than like Batman meaning business. You know what I mean? Like Superman means
Yeah.
business. He's gonna whoop ass and save the world and show you how to do it right.
Yep.
Batman meaning business just means he's gonna beat the shit out of everyone. Like that's
Yeah.
just the difference between these characters. But like it's getting skewed, and that bugs me. But yeah, the figure for whatever reason, the black suit always goes for more. And I'm like, it's the exact same figure. There's nothing different. Nothing sculpt wise is different. It's not even like he comes with two fist hands instead of one open hand and one fist hand. It's the exact same figure. Just one is black and gray. The other one is red, yellow, and blue. And yeah, there's that.
I mean, and I say they can have that.
Yeah, yeah, they can
Have it. I don't want
enjoy
it.
it.
I have no interest in that. I just want my blue and red and yellow Superman, please. Thank you very much.
Yeah,
I'll stand over here by myself.
I'm
My
I'm right there too.
we'll stand over here by ourselves
Yeah.
and enjoy it while everybody else enjoys the edge lordy stuff. That's fine.
That figure's actually he's a good figure too. I got him a while back and like I did the custom cape treatment on him, and I didn't do anything with a wire. I just let it drape because that's kind of what it looks like in those movies. But I am gonna do a wired cape for him at some point because the
Yeah.
as long as it's a big cape, it's gonna look awesome. Especially with him in action, it's gonna look really cool.
Yeah, I might have to pop off the Superman um, Action Comics 1000 cape and give him a cloth. I think the cloth cape would help him so much more.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
I think that it's like sometimes I want cloth capes, but then I don't trust companies to do the right kind of cape. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Get that
get
feeling?
on eBay and find GP slot and get his custom capes.
GP slot.
Yeah, he does all kinds of stuff, and usually if he does something out of the ordinary, like at one point I think he did like a Clark Kent cloth suit with the shirt that you can open. It had snaps, so you could open the chest and show off the Superman symbol, and that shit sold out so fast. Like the thing that doesn't sell out super fast are his capes. He always makes a ton of
Oh,
capes.
there's a nice one. Yeah,
So I
there's a
think
nice one for 112 scale. It's nice and
I,
it
th-
looks good. Yeah,
I think that's where I
wired
got
one.
the yeah. I think that's where I got that Spawn cape from. I think so. Most of the capes that I've bought, the custom capes I bought from him. So yeah, he's a good place to start. Um,
Well, thank you for the heads up. Ooh, Spawn.
yeah, yeah, he's got a number of Spawn capes too. Even for the Commando Spawn cape, which I still want to get the Commando Spawn. I haven't picked that up yet, but I really do want to. I've
Oh,
never
and he
seen him.
literally has a cape for the figure I was just talking about.
Yep,
Damn, perfect.
yep,
See, and that's the thing. Like certain things, I don't mind investing in, and that is cloth capes and stuff like that.
yeah, yeah. I'm gonna at some point just start getting a bunch for Batman, like wired capes,
Yeah,
because for Batman it's a hassle doing trying to do all that stuff. Like I've sat down and I've made a couple with wires, and I was just like, oh god, this is so much work. I'll let somebody else do the work and I'll pay for it. I don't mind. It's just I don't have the
Yeah.
patience. I thought I did, but no, I don't have the patience.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't. When it comes to capes and claws and stuff like that, like I just, I'm no seamstress. I can't. I've never sewn a thing in my life. I don't intend to even try. I show no interest in doing any of that.
Yeah,
I'll pleasantly pay someone to do it for me. So,
yeah. Um, what's your least favorite McFarlane figure so far
ooh, that I own or don't own?
that you own?
Oh, that I own. You gotta make things more difficult.
No, it's easy because you have it. So you really know what you don't like about it, or do you even have one that you don't
Okay,
like?
so
Because
I got a sub question here.
okay,
Are we including QC issues?
nah, because I mean the QC issues are they're the exception. You know what I
Damn
mean?
it! I was looking for a way out, and you just took it from
Because they're the exception. They're not, that's not indicative of what it's supposed to do. It's an eventuality because you got, large runs.
me. Let me see. I want to say. I'm gonna look at everybody here. Oh, this is tough. I gotta say, you know what? It's Hal Jordan Green Lantern. That two pack. He kind of sucks. If you already have John Stewart, he's irrelevant.
Yeah.
He's literally the John Stewart body, just painted differently. He felt cheap, kind of like I don't know, like his arms were real loose. I don't know. Just don't care about that.
Oh, your Wi-Fi is doing its thing again.
Oh, great. Hold on, let me turn it off, sir.
No, you're good. I just heard you starting to sound like you started sounding like Shockwave or Soundwave. I mean, and I was like, oh shit.
I'm going to transform now.
Okay.
I don't even think Shockwave would say that.
He's having a stroke. Soundwave's falling on hard times,
I just had a stroke. I'm gonna turn into a light post again.
Oh my god.
Yeah, so it's the Hal Jordan 2-pack. Hal Jordan. I don't know. It's the John Stewart body all over again with just a Hal Jordan head. There's nothing really special about him.
Okay.
It just doesn't, I don't know, really do all that much for me. Which I wanted Hal to build up the core.
Yeah.
But
I think that's a pointless endeavor because they're never gonna do all the variety that Mattel did. They just can't. I don't see it happening even in the next 5 to 10 years. There's nothing Green Lantern to push it for that to happen. Because I have Green Lanterns from the movie, which that was one of the best things about that movie was that you got like all these weird versions, like really alien versions of different Green Lanterns and shit. And then I got some of the standard DCUC ones and some DC Direct characters, and like they ran the gamut.
Yeah. Can I add one more that I don't like?
Sure.
Ezra Miller Flash.
Yeah, I skipped that one. I have the Figure Arts one, and I was like, no one else is gonna make one that compares, so I'm good.
Yeah. I just don't like Ezra Miller. So
Yeah, he shat the whole bed. Dude had a good
that
thing
would be
going.
someone, you always have those lists of like in what was it, Fight Club, and they're like, if you could fight one famous person, who would it be? I'd fight Ezra Miller. I'd beat the piss out of that guy. I'd beat the shit out of him.
Yeah, he sucks. He really sucks. He is not a good human being. Wow, that's a good list.
Tom Brady. I'd like to fight Tom Brady too.
Just kick him in his neck. Like, how'd you fuck this up, man? You fucked it up. Um, okay, let me think. So the ones I don't like that much. So the three Jokers Batman is on my list. I hate that figure.
Yeah, I would put him on my list too with those stupid arms.
Like I could re Frankenstein him and make him a better figure. I mean, like, he needs a different torso. So if you could like cut that symbol off and put it on like an Arkham Batman chest or something, maybe that would make it better. Um, but like overall, he's just a gangly, weird Frankenstein of a figure. He really has weird proportions, and he's ginormous for Batman. Like, ginormous compared to some of these other figures. Like, he's huge. He's big compared to Arkham Batman, who's supposed to be like all upper body and like regular legs, you know.
Yeah, he's a beefcake, that Arkham Batman.
Yeah, and that three Jokers Batman is like twice. He's bigger than him.
I will say this: after I painted those trunks black, his legs look less long.
Yeah, yeah,
It did fix a lot. Like, it looks a lot better, I think.
yeah.
I think it's just too much gray for me. I need to break up that gray.
You guys and that this color shit. Jesus Christ.
It's too much.
Oh, well, I mean, categorically, he's had a shit ton of gray. Like, that's one of the looks. The modern Batman doesn't wear the trunks, so, you know.
I like my trunks.
I know. You're not alone. There's a lot of folks who, that's stuck with them, you know. So.
I mean, it's not horrible if he doesn't have the trunks. I just prefer the trunks.
Yeah. No, I get you. So him, and he might be the only one actually. Yeah, him. I was gonna say the hazmat suit Batman, but that one grew on me after a while because I was like, you know, I could come up with some situations. He could fight Firefly with that thing. He could, you know, go into the Phantom Zone wearing that thing. He could. There's so many things he could do, and you could figure out situations for him to use that suit, which is pretty cool. Yeah, I think that might be it. Honestly, I don't really have, because I made a point to like not hold on to the ones that suck. So like if I came across anything that's, oh, you know who I don't like, probably it's the worst one they've released. It was that Bane back in the Last Night on Earth wave.
I don't have that. Yeah.
God, that the wave was like meh. It wasn't terrible, but like that figure, the Bane figure, he needed work because if they had made him more, you know, posable and shit. And I just mean a little bit because, you know, he's kind of in that same class as Juggernaut where he just needs to punch and run. So if you can put him in a running pose, then that's cool. And if you can make him punch, that's cool. And you can do that with this figure, but like you can just barely do it. And also like to wrestle his legs to get him in the running pose, they would pop off the pegs and you'd have to put him back on. And then, yeah, I ended up just gluing him. And so he's got stiff ass legs. I was like, fuck it. I don't care. He's just going to stand there for now. But yeah, he's kind of like awesome sculpt. The presence is there, but you can't do shit with him.
Yeah.
And I've seen some people, they had better luck where there's all the joints stuck together properly and then they were able to do stuff. Man, I heated all this stuff and like some people heated the pegs, like they boiled the whole figure and that made the pegs soft and it makes the peg holes soft. You want to boil the parts but not the core, because the core, especially on the legs, you need those pegs to stay hard so that they can, you know, connect where they're supposed to connect. And even still, the shit just, it still came apart. So yeah, there was like no redeeming him for me.
Oh, speaking of Redeemer would be on my list.
Oh yeah,
goddamn wings.
Those terrible wings. Yeah,
they look, don't get me wrong, they look absolutely fantastic.
They're too heavy. God.
But they need to be hollowed out.
Yeah, or made with lighter plastic.
Yeah.
That was the thing that killed the some of the Overwatch figures, because especially Reaper, is he had these effect parts. Number one, his guns were heavy, solid plastic. Then he had effect parts that were heavy, solid plastic, and it's like, that's not the way you want to do this. I'm pretty sure you should make it light because I have the I don't know why I keep saying sorry.
I
Uh,
do that all the time.
I have the Figma of Reaper, like when he's full on villain, with the hood and everything. And he has the same exact guns because it's the same character. It's just the evil version, and he has the same effect parts. Theirs are light plastic, and they don't weigh the arms down or anything. And same thing with the guns. Nice paint, everything's beautiful, smooth, no seam lines, and everything works. But the freaking Hasbro version, they just were like, nah, same plastic as the gun is going to be the effects. And then when you put them together, it's twice the weight. So his arms start having trouble holding his guns up, and it just looks dumb. So,
Yeah.
yeah, so that Redeemer definitely gets to be on that list. You're right.
Yeah, I think so too. What would be one thing that you would like to improve for McFarlane figures?
Oh, the freaking ankles. Jesus Christ.
Yes.
The ankles.
Still my thunder.
I don't even know if it's a combination of the feet and the ankles. Like the feet are too small, and then the ankles also need to be a little stiffer. And they're doing something different with certain ones because there's a swivel, like a proper swivel, and the bend at the ankle now. Um, and it's on a lot of the newer figures. I see it on. Let's see. Yeah, Ultraman has them. Superwoman has them. Night Owl has them.
Mr. Haunt has them too.
Yeah, and they're a little bit better. They don't. I'm not having those issues with them. And some of the older figures, like the Witcher figures, don't have. Um, they don't have the constant. What do you call those? The wide space between their detents in the ratchets and their
Yes.
ankles. That's the problem. It's just like there's the detents are too spaced out when they need to be closer together, or there just needs to be more detents so we can click more and catch. Because for whatever reason, it just doesn't catch. I mean, you leave them standing and then you come back and, like, say you leave for 10 minutes, you come back, they fall over. Always. Just about always.
Yeah. I don't like the ratchets at all on ankles. I never have.
I love them because they
I don't
typically
like,
help
and
them.
the only reason I don't like them is because the space in between where it ratchets for the next space is either too far or too short.
Yeah, that's the
And then he's
problem.
either leaning too far back or too far forward.
That's the problem. Yeah,
I just don't like them.
that's the huge problem right now with all this. I wish that they would do it differently. I really do. If they would do that differently, or if they'd update that, I mean, I think they'd. It's not like they're failing, but I think then people, the haters will have less to talk about because they're just
Sure.
complaining about shit. And in general, as a rule, you would have better, engineered figures. I mean, the engineering is so important. Otherwise, no one. It takes away from the figure if the engineering sucks.
Yeah. I like how Mythic Legions has their ankles set up, how they have the swivel, the
Uh-huh.
pivot.
Yeah, it's not bad. It's kind of like the Street Fighter figures, the Soda Street Fighter
Yep.
figures. It's not bad at all.
Yeah.
Um, it's I still like that's one of the improvements that they did, and I want them to be that conscious about the rest of the figure because giving people broadswords and then they can't hold the handle with both hands,
Sure.
that's
Oh, yeah.
tragic, man. That's fucking tragic.
It is. Tis.
Who was what's a figure that you didn't expect to be dope that like blew you away?
Um,
Or is it what's his face? Gunslinger Spawn.
no, I already knew he looked great.
Mm-hmm.
Um, ooh. You know what? I gotta. It's gonna. I'll pick a Spawn and a DC one. We'll do
Okay.
that. Um, it's gotta be Raven Spawn. He
I
kind of
don't
looked like
have
a meh
him.
figure, and I was like, But then when I got him in hand, and I saw like how he moves, the detail, the how cool the sickle, I guess
Yeah.
sickle kind of chain thing
Yeah.
is like flowing. like actually took me greatly by surprise, and I love staring at him and just playing around with him and looking at all the detail that he's kind of got. Like it's almost like hidden in the sculpt,
Yeah, I
you know,
love it.
like because of the paints. Like he's almost one paint. So it's like I think he's got like three paint um, applications, maybe
Applications.
four. I think he's
Yeah,
got four actually. But anyway, yeah, he took me by surprise. I like him, and I think he's a very underrated figure. Not a lot of
yeah,
people talk about him very much.
yeah. He's
Um,
on my list. I've seen him maybe once or twice in like a doofus. I just didn't pick him up, but I will.
yeah,
I'll
and there's a
definitely.
couple. I think there's two versions of him too. He comes with
Yeah.
different um, weapons and stuff.
Okay.
The um, the other one, oh, DC wise, I would say actually the recent Ocean Master. I love Orm,
Uh
but
huh.
he like that version when I saw the because I think I didn't get him until after I'd already seen the Page Punchers because I just got him
Uh huh.
and I was like, oh, the Page Puncher. I'll just wait for the Page Punchers version because that looks a lot better. But his version is really good. I guess it took me more by surprise. He was very fun to. I got him in Florida recently when I was on vacation, and he just I don't know. The head sculpt looks really good. He looks a lot more off the page comic booky,
Yeah.
you know, because he's got smoother. Like his bottom half is very plain,
Yeah.
but he almost kind of reminds me of like if he would be a DCUC
Gotcha.
with you know what I mean that kind of DCUC feel a little bit.
Yeah.
So he would definitely be the other one. I can't think of anyone else offhand, but maybe I will. I probably will in a minute.
For me, it would be Blight. Blight was weird.
Oh yeah.
I didn't think too much about Blight. Then I saw him and I was like, that looks like Blight from Batman Beyond. And so I picked him up and as soon as I got him out of the package, I started moving him around and like I see how his head, you could take the whole head off and it's like his head is in a jar essentially. You know the way the top of his head works. And the skull is it's all green. Everything's green, but the skull itself is green plastic that's been painted black so that you get the shadow effect that you get in the animated series, but you have the full skull in there as well. So from other angles, it looks really cool. Um, then the other one is Steppenwolf from the Snyder Cut. I didn't think they were going to be able to pull that off at all,
Mm, yeah.
at all. And then like just having him out of the package and playing around with him a little bit, I was just like, shit, he can do everything. I can pose him in any pose, just about. As far as heroes go, it's Peacemaker. I didn't really think I was gonna even like the figure. I liked the character because I still have his old books. I don't even know why I picked those up back in the day because it's so corny when you read like those old books where he's just pretty much a patriotic Punisher, you know. Um, but the figure is dope and like he's
Well,
posable.
he's kind of a doofus too.
Yeah. Well,
He's
well,
very doofusy.
now that they lean into that, I love it. You know, from the show, and like
Sure.
you can fully, you know, pull off poses and stuff to kind of give off that vibe from the character with no problem. So, yeah, he's one of those ones where I was not expecting him to be as good as he was. And if I'm honest, when I first started collecting the McFarlane figures, because I want to say the first McFarlane figure I picked up was the Joker from Arkham Asylum or no Arkham City, and I didn't think he was going to be very posable because you can't tell when you look at him in the package. You can only see elbow, knee, ankle, you know, joints. That's it. And then you get him out of the package, his freaking torso has a hinged joint with ratchets in it so you can like bend him, you know, make him bend down like a ab crunch type deal, and it clicks into place. And his, you know, his body's made of that softer, rubbery kind of material, so that it just bends with him. I was like, what the fuck? Like for real? This is what they're doing with these figures? Like the shit blew me away. Like,
You
damn, because even Storm Collectibles doesn't get this fully right, and somehow McFarlane gets it right. I mean, they don't do it on all their figures, but when they do it that way, they seem to get it right where it works. Joker's a good example of them engineering the shit out of a sculpt, and then you don't lose anything in the sculpt while you pose them, which is pretty awesome.
yeah, yeah. That's a good point. Um, oh, I did think of another
Okay.
one. Shriek.
Oh yeah, Shriek looks good.
Shriek is one that another one that really did take me by surprise because I was like, well, I'll try. I'll see if I like him. And what was it? He just happened to be on the peg in Target, and I was like, all right, well, it's the masked version, which that would be the version I would want. Um, so I went with that, and then I got him home, and I just I love the little effect that he comes with on his hand, or the extra hand that I think it's like attached to his hand actually.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. He's another one that's got a very unique sculpt, obviously because of the character design, and there's a lot of intricate sculpting within him, and then the little effect he's got and stuff like that. It's a really good figure. He's doing a really good job with those Batman Beyond characters. So
Yeah, yeah. Batman Beyond himself is another really good one. I mean, I wasn't surprised. He looked like he was nimble and posable and stuff. He's real fucking posable.
yeah,
Um, and the wings, the way the wings were handled was pretty genius, and like the paint job and everything. I mean, it puts the DCUC one to shame.
yeah.
Like it's so well done. So yeah,
It does. And people always nitpick. Oh, it's got holes in the
I'm like, how
wings.
the fuck else would he pull off that? Like, it's a toy. Come on.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't know. It's just a nitpicky thing.
Uh huh.
Um, I would. Oh, I keep forgetting to. Another one of my favorites I can't put down. I'm sorry. I'm gonna backtrack for a second.
Yeah.
Um, Flashpoint Batman. I can't put him down.
He's a good one.
I love him. He's so good.
And he, you know what's weird is that he doesn't go for very much on the secondary, which is another example of why the secondary rates are bullshit. That's the last. No, it's the second to last McFarlane figure to come with guns. I want to say the last one was Soul Crusher. Um, but it's a combination of him, Red Hood, the Red Hood with the not the Three Jokers Red Hood, the first Red Hood that they did two versions, one with the mask and one without the mask. He came with his guns, I think, right? Because he has the holsters.
The 2-pack and the single carded release came with his gun.
Yeah, that one did. And then so then there's Thomas Wayne, there's that one, and then there's Soul Crusher, that all came with like legit, real.
Soul Crusher? That's from Spawn, right?
He's a Spawn character with the green cloak and the gas
Spawn,
mask.
They always come with guns. Spawn
Yeah.
figures, but the DC,
figures,
they ganked those along.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's so jacked up that that company still got their thumb up their ass, spinning, rotating on it.
Yeah.
With all that stupid, you can't have guns shit.
It's like that's shit you need to worry about for your films, not for the toys. But
or just not worry about it all. Like,
well, for the films, because someone died on the set of a film, and I want to say the production was a Warner Brothers production, so they were like, "Fuck that shit." Like, rubber guns.
But like other people have died. Like fucking Bruce Lee's son died from fucking the same thing.
Hell
like,
yeah, I know.
Fucking, it's a mistake. Like it's not like you have the fucking 86 guns out of everything. Like the gun got jumped up off the table and was like, "I'm gonna kill you right now." It's the fucking human error that caused the issue, not the gun.
Yeah, this is true.
It's
true. It is. But yeah, you would think that considering that now guns are a rarity on these figures, that the figures who came with those things, to start with, would be, extremely expensive because they represent something that's not going to happen anymore.
Yeah,
but
that's true.
They don't.
I think it's like one of those things, like with most things, like time will heal. And then we'll have guns back in the line. I don't think they'll get rid of guns forever.
I don't know. People are pretty sensitive these days, so I don't see that
Yeah, that's all
changing.
people are is fucking sensitive. It pisses me off.
Yeah, everything is
You
the end
take
of
your
the world.
sensitivity and go home. Have your sensitive moment by yourself.
You know,
I don't want to hear about it anymore.
but it's affecting everything, which is kind of annoying.
Yeah.
Um,
Another good one is Ghostmaker.
I don't like that figure. I don't like the look of the figure. I don't like the. I don't know. He may be a
He
cool
is
figure,
fun.
but I didn't like his character in the books. And then when I saw the figure, I was like, oh, it looks like him. But I don't know. Just I wasn't interested. Maybe I should pick up the figure, but yeah, I wasn't interested.
He's a good figure. You should give him a try.
Yeah, I'll
He's
look him
fun.
up. I'll look him up. Maybe I'll come up with my own backstory for him.
I that's what I've done because I don't like the character either. I've just made him like like his own character,
Uh-huh.
not like another version of Bruce Wayne.
Yeah, I mean, I
Um,
think he's something. He's not another version of Bruce Wayne, but he's like trying to take over for do Batman's job because he believes he
yeah,
can do it better. I'm so tired of that trope. I'm like, don't we have enough people in Gotham who are doing the job, believe they're doing the job better than Batman? I mean, it's like an
yeah.
everyday thing in Gotham. Come on now. But yeah, I might try them. Those legs look like they should be like you shouldn't be able to play with him with legs like that. And then
Yeah.
he's posable. He's pretty damn posable. I've seen a lot of pictures of him, in action poses, and he looks good.
Um, how do you feel about the future state Batman?
Which one, Jace or
The
the standard
the
Bruce Wayne?
um not the Bruce. The
Yeah, Jace Fox. I like that one.
yes, yes,
I have him, and I customized his cape and all that to give him more presence, and he looks really cool. That design is really good. Um,
well, that's right. I don't know why I thought Ghostmaker was Bruce. How did I keep
uh-uh.
thinking that?
Well, because typically that's what they've been doing with all their multiverse bullshit. Like
Yeah.
everybody's a version of Bruce Wayne from a different universe, and it gets old. But
But
yeah, Jace Fox is a dope figure. So is because they didn't do too much with the whole future state thing. I wish they had done the Yar Flora version of Wonder Woman. You know what I'm talking about, the Brazilian Wonder Woman that they have in that story. She's pretty dope looking. Her design is really cool, but they just completely were like, yeah, we're just gonna pretend she doesn't exist because the only one that makes money is Batman.
wow.
I mean, that's literally what they did, which sucks. It's like, man, you have all these characters that are interesting, and excuse me, at least their design is interesting, and you didn't utilize that in toy form. No one has made a version of that. I mean, how's John Kent get a figure and she doesn't? You could look up her design right now. It's pretty damn, like, it's detailed.
Yeah, it looks good. I'm
It'd
looking
be
at
a
it right now. It looks really good.
it'd be a perfect figure. I mean, forget all the politics behind the writers and all the dumb shit that happened on that book, but like
Uh-oh, tell me.
they're
Tell
just
me more. Tell
nah, I'm
me
not even gonna bother. It's this. I'll sum it up.
more.
It's a lot of that typical like nonsense where you have a female lead, and so you just write all this preachy nonsense, and
Oh
the kind
no.
of stuff that like you're saying things happened to these characters that didn't actually happen. You know what I mean? Like the DC universe is not a world where female characters are not allowed to shine. I mean, Wonder Woman beat Batman's ass in what was that one called? I can't remember what the name of the exact name is, but it was the one where the Hecatea or Hecantea or something like that, where like someone showed up, they had killed someone, and then they showed up to Wonder Woman and they told her they said something, and she's like, "Oh, this in our culture, this means that no matter what, we have to protect that person, and that person is now pledged to us." And so anyone else who goes up against tries to come after that person, they have to go through me to get them. And so like essentially she has to protect that person and then also figure out what the issue is and how to resolve it in the book. And so Batman is like, nah, she's a fugitive from the law. I have to take her in. And she
Uh-oh.
beats the brakes off of Batman. I think on the
Well, I mean,
cover,
she should.
exactly. There's no reason why
She
she
should.
can't. And it would be really stupid if they wrote it where Batman just beat her ass like they categorically and consistently do with Superman. But like, no, she beat I think on the cover she's standing on his head. She's got like one foot on his head, and he's just laying there all beat up, like pissed, like fuck, I can't do anything.
Why would you even attempt like?
Batman's crazy, so we understand he would do this, but like, this is what I'm saying. Like, they're not afraid to go there when it makes sense. Like the female heroes are hardcore. Many of them are hardcore enough. Like you won't see Ice beating the shit out of Batman because that's not her character. She's not one of those kinds of people. If anything, she's so demure that her even being a superhero is kind of weird because she seems like she would be a princess and other people would do that job for her.
True.
But like, she wants to try to be tough and she wants to try to get out there and save people, and that's what they've written, and that's the difficulty that she has. But with freaking Yar Flora, there's all this weird shit that like contradicts the Amazon's way, and like she's a cool character, but the stories they put her in are just dog shit, and it's like, dude, you could do so much better. Like people like the character too. They just want better writers on the character, and DC's like, yeah, fuck that. And I think they're going back on just about all that shit. Which I don't blame them because a lot of it was too gimmicky, man. That whole Justice League from Future State was just womp womp. Like the whole thing, just nope. The weird Janelle Monáe looking Green Lantern. Why do we need another Green Lantern? Like there's too many Earth-based Green Lanterns. Way too many.
Yeah, they need to spread that. They're spreading that shit too thin.
They need to stop. It should just be two. Just get rid of others. Make two take their place. Call it a day. The only people who will have problems with this are the same people that have problems over any changes that are made in anything, But if you do it right and you stick to what you've already established, it's going to be good, and people will enjoy it. But let me see. Yeah, her design would have made for a really cool figure, though. I'm hoping they do one down the road because I like that design a lot. And she's Brazilian. Come on. We don't have that many. We got Fire and we got her.
Yeah, and
that's it. You know what I mean?
Fire that's about it.
Come on. We need more. But the Future State Batman figure's cool. He's real posable. He's
I like his look. A lot of people don't like it, but I'm like, the legs remind me of Arkham Origins.
Yeah.
There are certain aspects, like, he almost looks like a fucking DLC skin for, like, an Arkham game.
Yeah. Yeah, it does.
And I really like it quite a bit. And I like that, it's a switch up. It's
not Bruce.
It's not Bruce.
I do think if we get into the nitty gritty about the character, man, I have so much. I did a vlog about him too, about fixing the character. I would have made him in one of the other alternate Earths, just make him be the Batman of that Earth,
Sure.
instead of making him be the Batman of New York, because that's fucking stupid. New York isn't Gotham Gotham is technically
New York,
part of New York. So like, why do you need a separate Batman for the rest of it? So Gotham gets its own, and then the rest of the state gets a whole different one. Like, this is dumb. This is why it's weird that there's even still crime. Like, couldn't Batman? I said it in the last thing. Wouldn't Batman be able to just be like, yo, Soups, could you,
hey, could you handle
I need some help.
The entire East Coast for me, please?
You know what I mean? Like, he'd call, or if he didn't want to call Superman and let him know, he could like trick Connor into doing it for him. Like, hey, I need you to come and work with me. And if
it's just like, God, Superman's just so cool.
Yeah, it's strange.
Can we just take a moment to realize that?
It's been a lifelong thing, man. Me and my brother playing where I always was Batman and he was Soups, and because he was the younger one, it made sense. Of course, he would pick the super powered godlike dude as his favorite. And so, like, when we'd play, he could do all the stuff that I couldn't. So, like, my guy needs a plane to do all this, the flying and the acrobatics in the air and shit.
Yeah, it's so much more work to be Batman.
Yeah,
It's
I
like,
mean, and it looks
it's
good
like,
when you do
oh,
it. Like,
I
especially
gotta
if
get in
he's,
this plane now, and then I gotta like get in this car.
which is
And I
cool.
gotta
Don't
like,
get me wrong, it's cool, especially
yeah,
when he's
it's
doing
cool if
his.
you're a normie.
Well, it's cool in the sense that like the level to which he can do all that shit is high, so he can do
Sure.
cool shit, and alongside Superman, it highlights, how capable he is. But at the same time, it's like if you had a choice, who would be like, yeah, I want to still do all the same shit that I'm capable of doing now in real life, at, when I could just be a god and fly around at the speed of freaking sound or light or whatever, and I could hold my breath in space. I don't need to eat. I can bench press a planet. Like, who the fuck would be
Yeah.
like, yeah, I want to be Batman? Like, get the fuck out of here. You're delusional.
Dude, I would be so afraid to have sex. I feel like I'd snap the thing in half. When you're finally about to get there and you're like, you're all tense,
I don't think that would be a problem, man.
snap the vertebrae.
With all the things you'd be capable of, that'd be easy.
I know, but could you imagine like how difficult it is? Like he's constantly got to hold back.
I know, right?
Everything he does.
Yep.
Like flicking like a pen.
Yeah.
Flick that pen hard enough, it could fucking go through someone's body. And kill
Yeah,
them.
and kill him. Yep.
Like shit.
Yeah. I'm saying there's so much.
Hard to deal with, and people don't even think about that stuff.
There's so much there. There's so much there, and writers say Superman is hard to write, and I'm like, you guys are dumb. Your job is to take mundane things and turn them amazing. Make them interesting, and
Well,
yet
that's what they say for a talentless person. They make excuses as to why they can't do something creative.
yeah, it's weird.
So,
It's weird, and it's your job here in this case.
yeah. But you have one of the greatest jobs on the planet.
Yeah,
You literally write stories. Like
yeah.
you're creating lore. You're like I've always thought that was like super important, and some people brush it to the side. Like you're creating lore for or even characters in general. Like that's a big deal to me still.
Yeah.
Even as an adult, like I would love to be able to do that on a daily basis and get paid to do that.
Same here.
That's like a bonus.
Same here. I mean, I'm doing it. I'm not getting paid what I would love to be getting paid right now. Not yet, but soon it will be. Soon it will be, because that's one of the fun.
That's the way to do it.
Yeah. Okay. So your question was things we'd like to see for the future for DC, right?
Yes.
I want to see something that he's kind of doing actually is he's doing figures of characters that we got from Mattel, like he's doing the Dark Knight trilogy figures, for Christian Bale as Batman and all of that. Mm-hmm. I want to see, because I want an 89 Batman from McFarlane, and I think that right there would easily help with the fucking frustration of waiting for Mezco to do shit or get off the damn pot, like when it comes to Batman 89. I want him to do the villains too, because I want posable Catwoman from Batman Returns. I want a Batman Returns figure with the cool, his cool armor and everything, because I've never had one. And that's not even my favorite armor. It's just the fact that it's more Keaton Bats, and I want that era covered. You know what I mean? I want a Joker, a Nicholson Joker from him. I want a.
Do you want Bob?
I like how seriously you ask that. Yeah. Sure, I'll take it. I'd buy a bunch of Bobs so we could have a bunch of leather-clad goons to go with the Joker. I'd take it. It'd be funny. I mean, Bob always cracked me up because he was so fucking disposable. Like you knew he was gonna die.
Oh yeah.
Like it just, there was no other way for him. He had to go. So yeah, I would love all that. Like I'd love to have like a Christopher Walken figure, a fucking Max Schreck. Yeah. Like, I know they're not super heroic characters, but it would be dope just to have like some of the main people from that, have like a red triangle circus gang thug on a bike with the big old skull head and shit.
Yeah,
Like McFarlane.
I love that.
McFarlane was
Good.
born like that's the kind of shit they just have to make that kind of stuff, and they would do such a good job.
They would.
I would love to have them do like
The big strong guy with a bomb attached to his invisible bomb.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. The dude with the Jack in the Box with the crank and there was like a chain gun inside.
Yeah.
Like that'd be awesome with the monkey on his shoulder. Like those would make for some awesome action figures. I would love that. And I mean it's Batman stuff, so I'm not trying to just be on the Batman kick, but it would be awesome to have those kinds of characters. I also want a Christopher Reeves.
Batman also sells, man.
Yeah.
It sells itself.
I also want a Christopher Reeves Superman. That would be nice from him.
Yeah.
I would like a what else? I would like more revisions of like the New 52 stuff. It'd be cool to get some of those characters, some of those designs in a McFarlane figure. I also want him to do. This is something I should have said before. Actually, this is what I should have led with. I want him to do Image characters. Like I want Wildcats. I want the '90s Wildcats in McFarlane figures.
Wetworks in there.
Yeah, I want Wetworks. I want Wildcats. I want Stormwatch. I want fucking Cyberforce. I want figures, McFarlane style figures. Could you imagine a Striker figure with the three arms on one side and the one on the other side? Like, sick. I want that in McFarlane. Like, that would be fucking phenomenal. I want a Savage Dragon figure. I want a fucking...
Dragon would be fucking amazing.
Yeah. I want him to dig into the well that they have because there's so many... Even the Youngblood characters would look good as McFarlane figures because he'll fix the things that were wrong with how they appeared in the books. And a lot of times, like, remember when Youngblood showed up in Wildcats? Jim Lee made him look really fucking cool. Like, I will never get over the fact that their leader, Youngblood's team leader's name is Shaft, and he's a white dude. I was like, wow, Shaft is a white guy, and he's a fucking archer. Like, I mean, it's memorable. I mean, if nothing else, it's fucking memorable, you know? I would love to have figures of all that shit, you know? It would be awesome just because there's so, like Zealot. I've been waiting for an amazing Zealot figure, Zealot and Grifter together forever because I have the old ones from Playmates and they're barely posable. I mean, like Zealot fares better than Grifter, but I want them where they could stand up straight and look badass standing there together, and then I could put them in action poses and, you know, make Grifter come with a bunch of guns, those future weird guns that, you know, Jim Lee and them would always draw.
Oh yeah,
I'd love that.
Or
maybe
guns kind of.
Yeah, or make him come with two of them, like he can come with two guns and then do a munitions pack of like, you know, fucking future guns like IO weapons munitions set or whatever, or like a Halo, because that was the company they worked for. Do the Halo munitions set, and it'd be those weird looking zapper guns that they always had.
I always liked those '90s designs for guns.
Me too. Like it's unique.
It's so cool.
It's unique. Like if you ever wanted like a period of time that could like encapsulate American comic book sensibilities. I mean, it's the '90s. Like when you look at anime, there's like specific things that you see across almost all anime because once it happened, and people caught wind of it, it stuck and everyone started doing it. But with the 90s, you have all these hipsters that look from out, you know, they're looking in from the outside and they diss the shit out of it. But like what came afterwards wasn't better. Like design wise, it wasn't unique. It wasn't like as memorable. Like say what you will about the stories. We know that the stories were just, it was like porn. It was like, there's a story because you need something to travel from page 1 to page 30. But like the what you were really there for was the look of everything. Like you know, that was the prawn. That was the that was the porn there was the you know, that was the action, the look of the characters, the over the top nature of everything, you know, like that's what you were there for. You weren't there because the story was like fucking gonna change your fucking life. Because none of these books did that. So yeah, I'd love that shit in comic book form or action figure form because it's so memorable. I mean, if Ninja Turtles could get the renaissance that it's getting through NECA, then I think Image needs a renaissance as well through action figures because
I agree.
that's what made me a big comic book fan. Honestly, I got really into comics because of Image.
And if one person can get it together, it's DC. They've already got Jim Lee, fucking McFarlane doing the tour. For God's sake, if there's ever a time to do that,
yeah,
get it going.
Yeah,
get it going, man.
Yeah, that's what I would love to see. What about you?
Oh boy, there's a lot. I don't need classic versions. I just need versions of these characters. I want the entire JSA.
Yeah.
I want Doctor. We got Dr. Fate. Our Man. I want.
Hell yeah.
We're getting Adam, which is awesome in Page Puncher's versions too.
Yeah.
He looks great. I want old school Flash. I want old school Green Lantern. I want Spectre. I want friggin'. Let's just go down the pipe. Sandman, Our Man. Come on. Let's just.
Stargirl and Stripe.
Stargirl, Stripe. Yeah. Let's just.
Sandman.
Versions. Give me it.
Go
for it.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
For turn the page.
Power Girl. Shit.
Power Girl.
That'd be awesome.
Could you imagine McFarlane?
Yeah.
Power Girl.
Yeah.
Like with the sculpt.
Yeah.
My God.
Yeah. It'll be awesome, and a lot of people will hate on that figure. You already know.
Oh, I know. Her boobs are so big. It's disgusting.
I know. Oh my God. Look at her butt. It's so big. Look at her boobs. They're just ridiculous. Like, yeah, he makes some thick ass chicks, man. All the chicks have really wonderful body types. Like, Supergirl or Superwoman has this thick, powerful, like these legs, man. She's got these big ass thighs, looking like a power lifter. It's fucking awesome.
That's how she's gotta look.
Yeah, you want to feel like this is a powerful chick. And then like Catwoman has that nimble gymnast kind of build, and it looks good with these powerful ass. She's got powerful legs too. It makes sense because that's 95% of what she does. Jumping around, flipping, and shit like that. She's a gymnast. She should look like it. Yeah. Power Girl.
Wonder Woman should look like a 3-inch taller Gina Carano.
Yeah.
That's exactly what Wonder Woman should look like. Thick,
yep.
And I'm talking right now, Gina Carano, not when she was fighting and she was a lot skinnier.
Yeah.
Right now, thickness Gina Carano, 3 inches taller. Go for it. Do it. That's what you need.
Yeah, I agree.
To me, is the look of Wonder Woman. Someone posted a photo, and it was Superman standing right in front of Wonder Woman, and she's she's like 2 inches taller than him, and she's the right size.
Yeah.
As far as what you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like everything needs to be larger on her. Like not like okay, Nikita Lyons. Remember that WWE?
Yeah.
I was like, she moves like she's 100 pounds, but she's like probably 170.
Yeah.
And she's not. She's just thick. She's just a thicker built, different. She's like an Amazon.
Yeah.
She's an Amazonian. That's how Wonder Woman needs to be. Nikita Lyons.
Nah, I don't think Nikita Lyons. That's too much in the thick direction. She needs to be more on the athletic side. Nikita Lyons is athletic.
Nikita Lyons is super athletic.
She is, but I'm talking about, but she doesn't look it. The Wonder Woman needs to look it.
No, I'm not talking about the face.
I'm talking about her body. Her body. Yeah. Nikita Lyons is not like she's not cut up. She's not defined. Like even in her legs and stuff. I mean, you can tell she's strong, obviously, and she, like you said, she moves like she's athletic. Period. She's a martial artist, so she her body doesn't look. She has practical strength, and she looks like a regular. I shouldn't say regular, but like a thick chick who has martial arts background, and that's how she moves. But she doesn't look like it. If you saw her on the street, she looks like any thick chick you see on Instagram. Like
I
that's
don't
just
know,
it.
man. I've seen her workout videos. She's
No, I'm just talking about her look, not how she. Like I know how she moves, but like if you saw a picture of her, you wouldn't know that she's like capable of the shit she could do. But when you look at Wonder Woman, she's supposed to look like she's capable of like wrecking everybody's shit. I mean, so like when you say Gina Carano, hell yeah, Gina Carano is like the way, especially like how she looked in The Mandalorian, where she's like she's not cut up, but she's solid. That works, and she's not like squat. You can see it in the shape of her legs and the shape of her arms. Like she's not cut up, but the muscle mass is there. Even her chest, the way that her boobs sit up on her chest, you can tell her upper body strength is there. Like she looks strong. She doesn't just look because what's her name looks soft. And trust me, I don't have a problem with that.
I don't know, man. She's all muscle.
It's a wonder.
I'm saying,
We know she is, but I'm saying like she looks soft. She looks soft. Her form, her shape looks like those thick Instagram models. Like she doesn't look like a wrestler. Like if you saw a picture of her dolled up, the last thing you would think she did was wrestle. Whereas like if you saw a picture of
somebody's ass.
From looking at a
That's big
picture,
girl, man.
no, I know she is. Yeah, she is. Like, cause like when you look at, I don't know, what's her face, the Irish chick. I fucking love this chick. Why can't I remember? Becky Lynch. When you look at her with like when you can see her arms and legs and shit, she looks like she's a fighter. You can tell.
Yeah, but Becky Lynch is a twig.
I know she's tiny, but she's built like a fighter. Is what I'm saying. This is one of those things. This is one of those things that I like when form follows function. So like if you were designing a character, there's a certain type of musculature that you see as a baseline for almost any fighter, regardless of how cut up they are or not. It's the typical way of, it's like shorthand for, I'm a fighter. That's why people do the bodybuilding so they can get cut up enough and look like a fighter. And there's a lot of people who look the part but can't fight worth a damn. You know what I mean? Lots of them. There's a lot of male like models and things like that who have the build of a fighter and can't fight worth a damn because they got a personal trainer who taught them how to build the muscle that looks like what you see on fighters, but they don't use their muscles for that kind of stuff. So they're weak as fuck. They're just cut up and they look the part. When you see actual fighters, like for instance, jiu-jitsu guys always have thick necks. Why? Because you train your neck as a part of rolling with a lot of these other guys. There's a lot of moves that you have to be able to pull off where you use your neck for support. You know what I'm saying? You also got to learn how to fall on your neck. So it's something you have to train. So that they have that in common. Broad shoulders. You build up your shoulders a lot because your upper body strength is like really important. For like wushu people, their core is always super defined. It's not like cut up, but it's always defined because that's like where a lot of your power comes from in Chinese martial arts. So like there's things you'll see wrestlers in general, their base level shape is always a thick like those cats that bale hay. Those, you know what I'm talking about? Like the folks that work on a farm and they have that square, powerful build. They don't necessarily have like cuts like Van Damme and shit, but like they're square and solid. They look like, they could take a punch. Typically they're built like this because they use all their body doing fucking labor. Most laborers, you can tell, because that's a thing. Their body looks like they can do what they do. They can lift heavy shit because they do it all day. Like it's the form follows the function. The chicks who like I almost guarantee you that what's her face, she has wrestling ability, but if you cut it down to strictly martial arts, that's where you would see a deficiency. Strictly martial arts. Whereas if you did like what's her face with the sourpuss face all the time, what's the chick's name? Roddy Piper's gear. What's her name? Ronda Rousey, right? Ronda Rousey is built like a fighter, but at the same time, she can look feminine. She just like that's not her. That's not her default look. Her default look is fighter. You could just tell that's all she's ever done. So like when you look at her upper body, like just look at her fucking like her neck, her shoulders, everything. She just carries herself with a fighter's kind of almost it's almost thuggish to a degree because she's always so like I don't know, trying to exude intimidation, and it's like you're kind of too cute to be intimidating, but I could see it because once she gets her hands on you, you're like shit. She does throw some people around kind of hard, you know. I think she would do a good job against some of the dudes too, but I'm just talking about her body shape and type. She looks like a fighter.
Fighters, there's different class of fighters.
Oh, I know.
I mean, fucking, what's his name? The gypsy dude. He's flabby as fuck. He's knocking fucking people into the middle of next week.
But he doesn't look like a fighter.
Exactly. But
he doesn't look like a fighter, and the thing that we give him props for is that he's a.
So when is the line skewed?
The line isn't skewed. He's the exception, not the rule.
Yeah. Well.
So I'm just talking about the general overall. If you said fighter, no one's going to be like Tyson Fury. Nah. If you said fighter, they're going to pick people who have the physique of a fighter, who look like fighters in general. It's like superheroes. You remember when the argument was, there's no fat superheroes. Why the fuck would you be fat as a superhero? Like, it doesn't even make sense for the job. You know what I mean?
That's the thing, like, some people look like...
Come on, you're playing devil's advocate just because. Come on. Like, if you were...
I'm not trying to play devil's advocate. If I'm coming off that way, I apologize, but that's not what I'm trying to do.
So what's your point?
Is, some people have fat-looking faces and they have skinny bodies. You know, people are, obviously built differently. So if someone looks a certain way, it doesn't mean that they are a certain way necessarily.
Yeah, no, and that's not. And what you're saying is in reinforcing what I just said. Tyson Fury is the exception, which is why people underestimate him and then they get clocked. He's the exception. He's not the rule. What you just described is another exception. It's not the rule. The rule is most fighters, they train, they overtrain, they try super hard to get into ridiculous shape. We have to meet fucking weight. So you kind of don't really have the option, but there are exceptions. There are people who they can meet weight, and when you look at them, they don't look fit. You know what I mean? They don't look fit, but they still are. They have a level of fitness that they can still, hang with the others. But the exception is not the rule. I'm not discounting those people because they exist and they do what they do, and some of them are really good. I'm saying in general, like when people were arguing about fat superheroes, there are fat characters, there are fat superheroes, but they're few and far in between because if you did this kind of work as regularly as these guys do it, you wouldn't be fat for very long, regardless of what you start out looking like. I mean, you're pushing your body to the limit every day. You're gonna get in shape. Like, it just makes sense, People always point out that fighters always look a certain way. They either look attractive or people are attracted to the body type. Why is that? Because they push themselves typically to get into pretty high physical condition. So, you know what I mean? Like, you're not going to have very many fat examples. Again, there are exceptions when you do have them, the ones that don't look as fit, but they're not the rule.
Here's the major question. Why do you want a fat fucking superhero anyway?
I don't know. Because people want...
Why does anybody want that shit anyway? The whole point of a superhero is to be the best version of ourselves.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
Regardless of any, woe is me, I want something I can relate to. Okay, well then go stare in the mirror, and then you can relate to that because that's yourself. I'm just telling you like it is, I'm just saying. If you want something to relate to, then go fucking stare in the mirror and talk to yourself.
Oh my god.
Because no one can relate to each individual person unless you're talking to your fucking self.
Yeah, like everyone's different. Yeah, that's true.
As a whole.
Yep.
But yeah, it goes back. I'm going back to the point of you want to. The heroes are supposed to look the best. Obviously, yeah, I agree. There are exceptions to the rule, and maybe I'm talking about the exceptions to the rule.
Which is fine. If that was the goal, hell yeah. Like, if the goal was to be like, yo, let's make a character who's built like Nikita Lyons. Shit, let's do it. She's the perfect example. Like, yeah, I'd use her.
I wasn't really trying to use her as the only example.
No, there's others like her.
I think of Amazonians. I think of like big ass women. That's what I think of.
But when you say big, what kind of big?
China was an Amazonian.
Hell yeah.
She was a big ass fucking woman.
But there's a big difference between China and Nikita Lyons. That's why I'm saying. Sure. That's why I'm saying.
Types of big ass women.
Yeah.
Not out of shape big ass women.
Yeah.
Floppy. But big ass women that are like fit but thick. And they just are fit and thick.
Yep.
Anyway.
Yeah.
New gods. There we go.
Oh yeah, they probably will do those. New gods, Mr. Miracle, all that fun stuff. They probably will do that. That would be awesome. Shit, I didn't even think, because I wasn't a New Gods movie supposed to be coming at some point. I guess now, if it does come, it's going to be a completely different animal. That would still be awesome, though. I would love some like new revamped New Gods. I fucking
hope so.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
I hope so.
What about I want overwhelming.
You could don't do what the Eternals did, and everything will be fine. That's all you have
exactly. To do. Which honestly, the New Gods is just a more interesting story than the Eternals.
Oh, absolutely.
So yeah, I don't think they could. If they'd have to try really hard and go full woke or something to like really fuck that up. But yeah, I think just base level, it'd be more interesting than the Eternals. I really want them to lean in on villains. Just give us a shit ton of villains. I'm sick of all the variations of heroes, and then they forget all the villains that are out there. We need more villains because there needs to be more bad guys for these heroes to fight. I need give us a baseline where you stop with the heroes and then focus on giving us a shit, like every wave that you give us, and maybe they won't do it. I mean, because they're doing it, I'm not. But give us ample villains to go with the heroes, because they're doing it with the Batman lines. They do like one Batman or two Batman, and then they do like all the supporting cast of heroes, and then they do all villains, everything else. I want them to do that with everything, because it'd be nice to get, Superman's rogues gallery, and then get Flash's whole rogues gallery. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we still don't even have like a Two-Face. We don't have. We got the Arkham Penguin, but
yeah,
that's Arkham Penguin. I don't even count that.
I do. I think that's one of the better looks for the character. I mean, I know you want like the comic book versions as well, which is probably on the way, considering he's done comic book versions of most villains. True. Like the Joker, he's done every iteration of the Joker except
I don't need another fucking Joker. I have the three Jokers, and I have that first Joker that came out with the long ass pistol.
Yeah,
he looked very almost Jack Nicholson-esque.
Yeah.
So I don't need another Joker.
I only ever bought the Arkham one. That's my favorite look of the Joker, period. He's scary looking. At the same time, he's still kind of goofy. It like encapsulates like every single era of the character. So I was like, yep, that's all I need. I'm good. I still have my DCUC various different Jokers, and then the DC Superheroes Jokers. So I was like, I'm good with those. I'm not going to go nuts with all that.
I would like to see someone who has never been made into a toy.
Yeah. Dr. Polaris. Dr. Polaris. Prometheus would be cool. Wait. No, they didn't do one. They were talking about doing one.
He has never had a toy.
Yeah.
That's toy history right there. Make that fucking shit happen, McFarlane, please.
Yeah, that would be cool.
I thought for a while that the classics line was going to do one towards the end, and they just didn't. And Multiverse never made one
And
either.
DC Collectibles didn't do it either.
No,
Wow.
nobody's done one.
Yeah, they should do that. That'd be cool. Prometheus would be cool. I mean, even though he was kind of not that great of a character in the books, he's still a character that had never been made. But there's older characters that were never made though. Like, what was the opposite dude? There's the Anti-Monitor, the Monitor. They never made a Monitor figure, or did they? I don't think they did. Maybe DC
No,
Collectibles
it's
might
always been
have.
Anti-Monitor.
Yeah, I was about to say they only did Anti-Monitor, so they need to do the Monitor. That'd be awesome. They need to do. Let's see. It's mostly cosmic characters that they need to. They always ignore these characters in DC. I want the fucking Forever people. That would be pretty dope. Um, and like update them. You know what I mean? Because some of them are just oof. Like the fucking what's the guy called? The Black Racer, I think that's what he's called. With the skis, the black dude on skis. Like fucking please fix that shit.
Yeah, like Big Bear and what was it? Beautiful Dreamer.
Yeah, Dreamer. She was awesome. And Infinite, what was he? Forever Man, I think is what he's called. When they all combine, that'd be awesome. He always looked cool. I just hated his name, Forever Man. But yeah, all that shit. Light.
Well,
Not
Forever People is a ridiculous name too.
yeah. But it's in line with the new Genesis,
Yeah.
Fourth World stuff. So they're all kind of weird over there. Another one would be what was the future Wave Rider? The dude who could time travel. He had like the flaming. He was like shiny, and he had like black boots,
yeah.
black gloves.
Like, what's his dick? The Herald of Galactus.
He kind of had that vibe, like Fire Lord almost.
Yeah, Fire Lord. Yeah.
Yeah, they need a figure of him. He would be cool. I had like a really cool card of his. It was like a what do they call that? A hollow foil card back in the day when Fleer was doing them, and I had one of him, and it was fucking dope. I remember I like taped it inside of one of my sketchbooks because I was like, this shit is just too cool. I don't want to lose it. He was a cool design, cool story, cool powers and everything. Like he could actively, like at will, travel through time. But the problem was he was getting a handle on his powers because he was like pretty high level as well. He just was learning how to work with his powers, and so he would end up. It would take him a couple tries to get where he was trying to go. Meanwhile, he'd have to power back up so that he could make those jumps. So while he's in a particular time period, he would have to work with whatever, like if a specific situation is going on, he would usually team up with the heroes of that time, help them deal with whatever's going on, and then they'd help him power up and then make the jump to whatever time he's trying to get to. His books were it was pretty fun. He used to show up in Superman a lot. I'd love
Monarch would be another one.
Yeah. You're talking about the one from that book that are you talking about the Monarch? He's got the weird yellow mask and is that what you're talking about?
He's like blue and gray, and he's got like a fucking. He was in like what was it? Crisis in Time or whatever. Shit. He's like blue and gray. He's got a big ass like fucking collared piece.
Oh, this is a different one. This is a different Monarch. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. He would be a dope one. He was in that weird what was it called? 44. That countdown. Yeah, I remember him. The Monarch I'm thinking of was from a book that was in a different. I think Mark Wade did it, but yeah.
I'm talking about the old Hawk.
Yeah.
That became Monarch.
Yeah, that would be cool. Yeah. That would be dope. I'd love that.
Hawk and Dove.
What
the fuck?
Yeah, I know, right?
Fuck.
Yeah, I think Wave Rider was in one of those Monarch books.
I think so too. Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah, that would be dope. There's a lot of characters that Like we need versions of like we need a mutated, not mutated, but like full size Mr. Mind.
Yeah.
That would be dope. Um, we need Rip Hunter. We need shit Maxima. Holy shit.
Ooh, yeah, Maxima, such a good call.
That'd be dope to get a Maxima figure. She was a cool villain. I mean, she's not really a villain. She's like an anti-hero. She'd be awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, she was in that Justice League, the guy's ass whooped.
Yeah.
The Fodder League.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Guy Gardner, come on now.
Yeah, I know, right?
You gotta fit him in there, that little asshole.
God. Yeah, I've never been a fan of Guy Gardner. Never.
I wouldn't mind a Guy Gardner like that, not in his. So in that '90s more.
You're talking about Warrior, yeah. I know exactly which one you're talking about.
He didn't have the Lantern logo and stuff like that. So.
Yeah, yeah, that would be cool. That would be cool. I wouldn't have problems with that.
Yeah. God, he's such a butthole.
Yeah, he is. Yes, he is.
He's such a butthole, looking like Chucky and shit.
It's true. It's true. But yeah, man, there's a plethora of because DC's so big. Like it's so fucking
so big.
Like the it's just fucking huge. The universe is just like, I don't know, it's so like, I mean, Marvel's big, don't get me wrong, it's a big universe, but there's a lot of like pockets for Marvel, whereas DC, like everything we're naming, every character we named, they're all interconnected into the like mainstream DC universe, and there's all kinds of things that have happened where the heroes have dealt with some of these characters,
Yeah.
And it would be dope.
And I guarantee there's characters that we just named off and people are scratching their head like, who the fuck?
I know, right? Who's that?
Like Guardian. Remember Guardian?
Yeah.
The regular Guardian with the shield.
With the shield, yeah. Or, no, here's deep cuts, fucking Gangbuster.
Yes.
If they did Gangbuster, that'd be hilarious. Do him up, and I almost guarantee you he will show up in season 2 of Peacemaker. I almost guarantee it, because he's one of those.
Yeah, that's a good call.
He's one of those characters that like that's where he belongs. The street level thug. Like they're like a couple steps from being a thug. Like something's clearly wrong with them because they chose this particular line of work, and they're not really like 100% cut out for it. Like that would be awesome. But I'd love a figure of his. I had a couple of his books too.
In Gangbuster with his nunchuck.
Yeah.
Put him in a 2-pack with fucking the Guardian.
Yeah, I know, right? And call it a day. Yep.
Called the obscure 2-pack.
Yeah, him and do it, and they could even go a step further and do the Manhattan Guardian. So do the version of Guardian that's wearing the police gear and shit. Like that'd be amazing. Yeah, I'd love it. Yeah, there's a lot of characters they could choose from. You know what?
Force.
Yeah, that'd be hilarious.
Mr. fucking Bones. Oh
yeah, Mr. Bones. Hell yeah. Fucking Infinity Inc. Yeah, man, that'd be dope. Or I was just showing Little Strydent Infinity Inc. because I was like, I'm surprised that in all the edginess that Zack Snyder and company didn't read about Mr. Bones. He's pretty much DC's Nick Fury. Like they easily could have used him like in the context of the Avengers. He's the equivalent of Nick Fury. His backstory's different, but he's that guy who behind the scenes, he's watching everything and controlling everything. And like, they even made him in modern times just wear a suit. Back in the day, he had that weird pirate suit, like Black Death. Remember the Black Death? Yeah. With the crossbones on it and shit. Like, and he had the crazy collar, and it was so dramatic. And then in the present era, they just had him in a black suit with a tie. And he's just chain smoking and shit, like black gloves because he has the cyanide touch and shit. Like, yeah, that would be awesome. I would love a Mr. Bones for you. It's easy as fuck to make one, but yeah, it would be awesome to have
easy.
It.
Deadline. Fucking remember Deadline, the fucking black ass assassin. The early 90s.
Yeah. God. Yeah, that would be quality. Yeah, his costume is awful though. God damn.
I remember reading some of these whack ass characters and like loving them.
Well, Deadline was cool when he came back, when he's flying around with those
True.
fucking arrow discs, and he didn't have the corny helmet with the no on it. You remember how, like, on his helmet, he's got, like, just a red
Yeah.
no. It's no to what? It's just
on it.
no on his head.
It's like he's the right to censor from the Attitude Era. That's what I think of whenever I would see his helmet.
Yeah, just no. Yeah.
It's just that entrance music.
Yeah, man. It was like, what the fuck, man? What are you doing with this guy? But yeah, he'd be funny. I mean, they have to do Doom Patrol. I'm surprised they haven't done that yet, but
Yeah.
they have.
We need more Superman villains. Where's Parasite? Where the fuck is? Come on.
Yeah, Parasite is perfect for McFarlane. Jesus.
Golly. You imagine the sculpt on Parasite, his version?
Hell yeah.
Holy shit.
That would be awesome. Jesus.
Yeah. Get with it.
Yeah. Yeah, they're
We need villains waves.
This is what I'm saying, man. Like, they need to lean in hard on the villains. That's where all the fun sculpts and fun details are. Like, let's do it.
Yeah.
Make the fucking crazy ass villains so that our Justice Leagues and our, Teen Titans and whoever else have shit to fight.
Chemo, if he did like a fucking mega figure of Chemo, that would be sick.
Yeah, that'd be nice. I mean, like, it's gonna be hard to top the DCUC one, because that one had a very unique sculpt.
Yeah, it did.
Very unique. I want to
But
creep.
I think McFarlane, with all the sculpting and stuff he can do, Metamorpho would be an amazing figure. Holy
That's true.
shit.
That's true.
That would have to be like a deluxe figure on his own.
Yeah.
Like, he would have to be like
a mega figure.
Interchangeable arms and different types of stuff, kind of like what they did with the Collect and Connect.
That'd be nice. That'd be real nice.
Yeah,
who, strangely enough, I still want a figure of. I know they haven't done it yet. And some people will probably disagree with me. I want a, Amanda Waller. I need an Amanda Waller. I almost picked up, and we may still have it. Maybe we did pick it up. I picked up the animated series version years ago. It was in one of those 6-packs that they used to do. But we need some version of Amanda Waller, because we have a whole bunch of like Suicide Squad characters and shit. Well, we've got a few of them. We need to have like the boss behind it.
You know what I need? If you're gonna go with Amanda Waller, I'll go with kind of more of a normie character too. I'll go with Black Hawk.
Yeah, Black Hawk would be awesome. Do the whole team. Do the whole team.
Whole bunch of them.
And then do like smaller planes to go with them. Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Oh, that would be so cool.
Yeah, and fucking
come with a fucking parachute.
Yeah, that'd be amazing.
Fantastic.
Even go back further and do the fucking Challengers of the Unknown. And
yes.
I would love that shit, because you know me. That was one of the inspirations for Fenris Company. And a lot of people are still like, who the fuck are you talking about? And I'm like, dude, they've even been in animation in multiple iterations. I mean, they're typically the same no matter what, but like they've been on Brave and the Bold, and they're in Justice League: The New Frontier if you want to see them like in animation. But yeah, their stories were pretty cool because they were simple. It was like, what if you had a team that's traveling through the Twilight Zone? There you go. They just deal with all this weird shit. They're like the Inhumanoids scientists in that cartoon back in the day.
Yeah. Another one would be Animal Man.
Yeah, I swore someone did a 2-pack with him. Maybe it was right before DC Collectibles, folded.
DCUC did an Adam Strange, which I'd also love.
Yeah,
I love me some Adam Strange.
He's cool. Yeah,
I loved that episode with Justice League Unlimited with him.
Yeah,
that was so well done.
Yeah. He's in, remember I was telling you about that Beware My Power, that Green Lantern movie they just did? He's actually in it.
Really? I gotta check that. I'm so behind with DC animated movies.
Nah, you're not missing anything. It's just there's a few that are really good. And actually a couple weeks ago, the Battle of the Super Sons came out. And it's fucking good. It's based on the Super Sons, like the 12-year-old versions of them when they were good. Not the weird future state, John Kent went to space and came back and now he's an adult. Like, no, fuck that. This is kid who learns that his father is Superman and he's geeked about it because it's like who wouldn't be geeked to find out that your father is Superman? Because immediately it's like, holy shit, that means someday I'm gonna get powers. Like, I'm next. You know what I mean? Like, and that's literally his reaction. It's good. It's real good. Even Damian is tolerable in this. Like, he's funny.
You said Battle of the Super Sons?
Battle of the Super Sons, because the book was called Super Sons.
Gotcha. Yeah, I think I'm looking at the list, and now I've seen pretty much everything.
Most of it's been bad, but there's a lot of good ones in there.
I haven't seen Justice Society World War II.
That one's good too.
I have not seen that. I've seen Red Sun. I've seen Apocalypse War. Wait,
God,
did I see that?
Red Sun was great.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, I saw Red Sun was really good.
Fucking Jason Isaacs did his fucking thing. I was like, damn, dude, I can't even tell this is the same guy. He's a hell of an actor.
Man of Tomorrow, I thought was pretty good.
I can't remember what Man of Tomorrow was. Which one?
That was when they actually gave Parasite the big bad.
Oh yes, I do remember it. It's the one that looked like Archer. It had the thick outlines and all that on it. Yeah, I remember that one.
Batman Soul of the Dragon.
I saw that. Yeah, that was okay.
Yeah, it was fine. The Long Halloween, I thought was
I liked it. It wasn't that bad. Like,
it wasn't that bad. I would say it's middle of the road.
Like, a lot of people were like expecting something else. I'm like, dude, it pretty much follows the book. It's a detective story, so it's not gonna be like, you know, bombastic and shit. I mean, it's more like you have to watch shit unfold and then, you know, see how Batman figures it all out.
What's this Constantine City of Demons?
I have no idea. I have not seen that one.
I don't. It came out in 2018.
I don't even remember that one. I remember the Justice League Dark. I did watch that one, and that was kind of meh. But
it's 5 short episodes. It was on the CW Seed. I don't know what the fuck that is.
Yeah, that was the online.
That is. I don't think that's a movie.
Yeah, it was. Seed was on the internet, I think.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I still have not seen the Judas Contract. I heard it was bad.
Yeah, it was. That's the one I was telling you about where I think Damian outfight Deathstroke or something like that?
I'll skip it.
I was like, oof, because the characterization of Deathstroke in that was that he was a member of the League of Shadows who was denied being.
Oh, I think I did see that.
Yeah, he wanted to be the next in line he was the next in line, and he was denied becoming the next leader, and so he essentially assassinates Ra's al Ghul and then tries to take over.
That's right. I remember that. Gotham by Gaslight. I've never been into that. So
Me neither.
Don't care for it at all.
I have that figure, and I've been trying to like get rid of it for so long. Because I just
don't care about any of like shoving the same characters in a different time period. Does absolutely fucking positively nothing for me.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of that either.
When you force feed that shit and just like, oh, this is him in a different time. No, you're just dumbing things down more. No, thank you.
You could have made a whole nother character.
Yeah, it's like that whole Spider-Man noir crap, and like I'm just not into any of that stuff. So
same here.
I don't think I've seen. Have I seen Justice League versus the Fatal Five?
Yeah, I think you did. We talked about it at least. It's the one where they introduce Jessica Cruz, the Green Lantern chick she's got the symbol, kind of like it glows on her eye.
I don't think I've seen this.
Huh. I know I mentioned it to you at least though. But yeah, you should check it out. It's the one where the original creative team that did Unlimited and stuff, come back to do that story.
Oh, that sounds right down my alley, actually.
Yeah, it's an all right story. I mean, it's got some tells of the time, so there's some things in there you're gonna just be like, oh my god, you're gonna groan, but like there's a lot of cool shit in there as well. Well, no, it's not that bad. it's just like I said. I noticed. I was watching, and I'm like, yeah, of course you put that in there. Of course you'd say that. Of course you
I've
did
liked
that.
Catwoman. I don't think I've seen Catwoman Hunted, unless maybe I have. I can't remember.
Eliza Dushku is the voice of Catwoman, I think, in that one.
Oh, I have seen that then. Yeah.
I think if that's the maybe I might be mixing that up. She's the
I
voice
mean,
in.
I'll tell you.
I think she's the voice in another one. She's the voice in. I can't remember what the Catwoman short was called. There's a Catwoman short that she's the voice of Catwoman in.
She's hot.
Yeah,
She's
she is.
still hot.
She still is. Yeah.
Elizabeth Gillies.
Okay. Yeah. So yeah, that's not the one I was thinking of. The one Catwoman Hunted is like an anime. It's done in like an anime style.
Oh, yeah. I don't know. Maybe I haven't seen it. I don't know.
It's fun. I'll give it that. It's a lot of fun. It's got Batwoman, like the actual comic book style Batwoman in it, which is
That's
nice.
what makes me think I have seen it. I'll just have to watch it again, and then I'll
Yeah.
figure it out. I think top priority is Beware My Power. That's top.
It's good. It's so good.
Yeah, I'll see that.
It's so good,
I
especially
think.
if you are one of those people like me who you're tired of. You're not a Hal Jordan fan.
I don't think who is a Hal Jordan.
There are a ton of them out there that just love Hal
Really?
Jordan, and
Where I don't ever see them. And if you are out there, people, explain to me why he's your favorite. When you have Kyle Rayner and Jon Stewart that are way more interesting.
It's one of those things where like when they were reading the book, that was who the Lantern was, so that's their connection, and it's annoying that they can't grow past it, like, and give anyone else a chance, you know. So
I just don't get it. I don't get it. Everything most people are usually either Jon Stewart or Kyle Rayner fan. I never hear anyone be like, "Yeah, Hal Jordan."
yeah, it's older people though. They're mostly older. So a lot of people, if you're not a Hal Jordan fan, then that story it'll work for you. It'll work for you hard because that shit is like, it legit gives props to him at the same time, and then it has a twist, and it's well done because it gives you a reason for Jon Stewart to take over rather than, hey, here's his black friend. Just let's put his black friend, give him a ring. He's black. We need a Black Lantern. Give him a ring, you know, so we can have diversity. Because that's essentially how it worked. Who's gonna stand in for Hal? Well, there's an army guy I know, like, you know, a Marines dude I know. Like, here, give him the ring. He's good. And then like now you have a black Green Lantern. It's like, no, we need more than that. So yeah, they give you more reasoning for that. And they show you Jon Stewart kind of grappling with the idea of becoming a Green Lantern and not understanding it and kind of seeing it as like a lot. And yeah, it's well done. It's well acted too, really well acted. That one,
I'll watch that shit tomorrow.
the one dude, what is his name? He's a creepy blonde-haired. He looks like a clone of Christian Slater with blonde hair. What is his name? Anyway, he plays the Green Arrow, and he does a great job too. I was like, wow, okay.
Brian Bloom?
No. Brian Bloom, he actually plays your boy, Adam Strange.
Jimmy Simpson? Oh,
Yes. I think that's his name.
Oh, he was in that movie Loser with. I see why I know that. with the pie fucker guy.
Yeah. I know who you're talking about. The guy who's the leader of. He plays Leo on the. Or he originally played Leo on the. The 2010s Ninja Turtles. The animated series. And I forgot Aldous Hodge. He plays Hawkman in Black Adam. He's the voice of Jon Stewart.
Jason Biggs. That's how.
Yes, Jason Biggs. That's his name. Yep.
He played Leo Biggs?
Yeah, Jason Biggs was the voice of Leonardo on that CGI show, and he was good.
Shut up. That's him?
Yeah, it's him. He was good. I didn't even realize it for a long time. Yeah.
I had no idea.
They did a good job.
Wow. Huh.
Yeah,
for Jason Biggs.
Yeah, some actors have a decent, range, you know what I mean? It's just a lot of times these days, the way things are done, like if you don't look like the character, you don't get to play the character, and it's stupid. It's like you're an actor. Let them become the character. They don't have to look the part. They can become the part. You know what I mean? Like that's the whole point of being an actor. You become someone else and then convince us that you are that other person. That's the point.
Yes, that is the point. Not to
Just
some political shit that nobody cares about.
Exactly. But yeah,
I can't believe we don't have a Sinestro figure yet. What the hell is going on in the world?
I know, right?
Isn't that weird?
That is weird.
Think about like all the villains and stuff. We got fucking Atrocitus before we got Sinestro.
Yeah.
That is
weird. That is weird. But it's weird that he didn't just do a like that. Injustice is not its own way like line.
Yeah.
Like I would have just done an Injustice line so he could do designs from 1 and 2. Not that 1 had many great designs. If anything, start with 2, and then if people really want it, go back and do stuff from 1. 1 actually had, I mean, and I got so much shit for it, but you could just look at it and tell. When you look at Injustice 2, then go back and look at Injustice 1. It's like night and day difference. They really gave a shit in part 2, and in part 1, they phoned in so much, and it was like, because you love the character, you will love this design, not because the design was well done. So I'm just still surprised he didn't just do an Injustice 2 line, because there's so many cool characters.
There are a lot of cool designs in Injustice.
Freaking I would love, and there's like I said, a few from the first one that work. Like Ares looked good. Yeah. Freaking Raven had at least 1 or 2 cool looking designs in there. Grundy looked pretty cool with that noose around his neck and shit. Like,
yeah,
that would be a cool figure, you know. I really like
I wonder if, like, does he have final say as to who he's gonna do, or like, is DC like, okay, do this now?
It's probably DC telling them or giving him a list of who he could use or who they want to see.
Gotcha. Okay.
I would imagine though, like if he has the master license, which I don't remember if that's what he has. If he has the master license, he should be able to just pick whatever. Like they give him a huge list of like all the characters across every, you know, facet of the DC universe and say, hey, you can make figures of this. But these ones take priority. You know what I mean? Which would be like shit that's in current movies and current video games and, you know, current comic book runs, things like that they have to be made. Whereas like if there was like an old character like Gangbuster, he could do it, but like it couldn't take priority over the new shit.
Yeah.
Because I heard that's why Jerry Macaluso had so many problems with making the Street Fighter line, is because Capcom, they're notoriously impossible to work with, and they had a list of who they wanted him to make. So that's why he made all the new challengers, but not DJ. It's a Japanese company, so they didn't want the black guy front and center, unless he's a villain, which is why we got Balrog, but we didn't get DJ.
Yeah, DJ would be cool if we got him.
Yeah, he'd been awesome. This is why also they had issues with Street Fighter 3 didn't sell the way that they wanted it to. So all the characters from 3, they kind of slow rolled on. So we ended up getting, I want to say 3 characters from that game. We got, or maybe it was 2 in that wave. We got Ibuki, that tiny little ninja chick. And then we got Remy. And then, of course, we had Ken, Ryu, and Akuma, because they already had made those figures. But yeah, they didn't do anyone else. Like Alex, they had a prototype. I saw the prototype. I saw it at a toy fair years ago. And then they just never... I saw a prototype for DJ also, because Macaluso did it because he likes those characters. And we never got to see the characters come to the, you know, to the fruition, because they ended up having to change hands. The company ended up changing hands before all that stuff could be worked out.
They figure arts will make them.
Yeah, maybe. They're moving really slow.
Really, yeah, they're really dragging ass.
Yeah.
I could definitely see Storm Collectibles making a DJ.
Yeah, down the road they will. If they have muscles. If they have muscles, Storm Collectibles is like, yep, we're going to make them. Because that's
I
how.
pre-ordered the Balrog because he's my favorite
Yeah,
Street Fighter. Yeah, well, him and Ken.
that's cool.
I
Yeah,
just always loved Mike Tyson. I'm like, that's fucking Mike Tyson.
I know, right?
He's in a goddamn Street Fighter game.
They even got sued for that shit. they
Yeah, they
got in
did.
trouble over that shit. Let's make Mike Tyson a gun-running drug dealer. That killed people in the ring. They're like, holy shit, nope. Get my face off of there. But yeah, he's a cool figure. And the I mean, it's you'd pay less getting the new figure than you would getting the the old one. The one from Soda is like pretty expensive
Oh, I
these
have the
days.
Soda one. Yeah.
Oh, you do? Okay, cool.
Yes. Yep. Yep. I got the player one version. The
Yep.
blue one.
Yep. That's the only one I looked at. That's the one I have.
Yeah, I didn't like the player two versions at all.
They did all 6 colors for all the characters they released, and I was like, yeah, nah, I only want the player one.
Yeah.
And if I absolutely can't find the player one for those characters, then I'll get, some other color. Thankfully, I found, I think, everyone except for Fei Long, and then I ended up finding it later. I got his start. When you hit start, he has like gray pants, which ended up it ended up being his default in Alpha 3, and then I found the standard one with the black pants. But yeah, that Balrog figure looks good. It looks just as good as the Soda one. It almost looks like they were comparing notes, like looking at the Soda one when they made theirs.
Yeah, he looks really good. That was one I was like, I'm gonna splurge for that one.
Yeah. How much did he end up costing you? Like 100 something?
He's $90.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's not that bad. He's a Big Bad Toy Store exclusive.
Cool. When does he
So
drop?
Beginning of next year.
Okay, that's good.
So it's time to save up and stuff like that.
Yeah.
He just looks so damn good.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
And he comes with the fucking background
Uh-huh.
with the casino and shit.
Yeah. Yeah, he's a good looking figure, and like the articulation looks good. It looks about the same, honestly, because his biceps are so big that you can't use the double joint. So
Yeah.
it makes sense. He feels like a single jointed figure. It's a good, yeah. They did a good job translating all that stuff. Well, guys, I think this is where we're gonna call it a day. But as usual, it's been fun. I guess get at us with like your picks and things you liked about that the McFarlane line, because I mean it definitely's got its fans. You know what I mean? Because they're not slowing down. They're not slowing down at all. So let us know which ones you love, which ones you don't really love. Let's focus more on the ones you actually do love, though, because all we do see whenever McFarlane puts out a good figure is a bunch of haters complaining about how shitty the proportions are, or how shitty the it's got a diaper. Yeah, it's got a diaper. It's too tall. It's this, that, and it's like we know that.
I guess you don't like fucking NECA figures or Storm Collectibles or anything else that has a fucking diaper.
Well, they don't give those figures the same kind of shit, and that's the problem.
That's what I'm saying.
So yeah, it's one of those things. Well, let's hear what you like. We'll worry about the other stuff. Kind of in a different context, some other time. But anyway, that's it for us. You guys have been great. Peace outside.
Bye-bye.